Dear students and viewers, a hearty welcome. I know you are all feeling much bored and becoming impatient due to extended lockdown. But we all have to adhere to the norms and rules of lockdown. So dear students, I know you are feeling like caged birds. You are like those students of class 9 text all some other day who are eager to see the sun to appear before them. But the more you maintain the laws, norms of social distancing, basic hygienes, the more we will have the opportunity to make disappear the dark clouds of COVID-19. So please do maintain the rules, the norms. However, I try to make my classes interesting so that all students get a very familiar and basic approach, basic knowledge of the concerned subject, concerned topic. So let's get back to the discussion. So, dear students, today I would like to present before you a very basic grammar aspects, and these are meant for all types of students, whether you are a class 9, or whether you read in class 9 or class 10, 11, 12, or even if you are pursuing graduation, or for those who have completed graduation and preparing for different types of jobs. Today's class is meant for all. We'd like to discuss the practical aspect of grammar. So, whenever we think of grammar, what comes in our mind first is parts of speech. And of those 8 parts of speech, noun comes first in our mind. And today I'd like to analyze and discuss some facts about noun, how to use them properly, how we should use correctly in our day-to-day life and also in different spheres. So whenever you say about noun, it means noun is a parts of speech which is given to the name of something or someone. And we know that noun can be classified into 5 categories. Number 1 is proper noun. Number 2, common noun. Number 3, collective noun. Number 4, material noun. And number 5, the last one is abstract noun. And probably you all are well familiar with these categories. Proper noun, to give a definite name to something or someone. Anybody's name, any river's name is called proper noun. Common noun, when same homogeneous things or when same things are described. Boy, girl, common noun. Collective noun, a collection of homogeneous things or persons, and it is treated as a whole. Audience, jury, shoal, herd, crowd, these are collective noun, a collection of something. Material means crude material which is used to produce something. Material, gold, silver, iron, plastic. Abstract noun is which we cannot touch but we can perceive. Honesty. These are the categories of nouns. There are 2 things concerned with noun. One is that some nouns are there which we can count, and these are called countable noun. And there are some nouns which you cannot count. These are called uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns. Suppose we can count marker 1, 2, 3, 4. We can count words. This is one word, this is a word, there are two words. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there are some things which we cannot count, like our hair, or water, or milk. We can measure them. 1 liter of milk, 1 kg of rice. We can measure them, but we cannot count them. So these are called rice, milk, water. Such types of nouns are called uncountable nouns. There are some other things which we should take into a consideration. That is case. Case of noun. Where we are putting the noun. If we are putting the noun in subject, then it is called subjective case or nominative case. And if we put the subject, the noun in object, in the position of an object, then it is called objective case. And there are some other types of cases. The third one is possessive. And the last but not least is the vocative. There are some other names also, accusative. Accusative case or objective case, both are same. Third one is possessive or genitive case. This is also called genitive case. I am trying to explain these types of cases in a single sentence. Let me write down. The man knew the boy and the boy's friend Ratan. Look at the line. The man knew the boy and the boy's friend Ratan. Here I have used several nouns. Here man, the first noun, then boy. Here comes the second noun, then the boy's friend. Two nouns are there, and then Ratan. Here the very word man has been used in the position of subject. Next, the very word boy has been used as the object, knew the boy. Whom did the man know? The boy. So it is object. Then the boy's friend. Here a position is referred, boy's friend. And last, someone's name is referred. Ratan. So considering all these, we can say man is an example of subjective or nominative case, boy is an example of objective or accusative case, while boy's friend is an example of possessive, and Ratan is an example of, last one, vocative case. These are the references of cases. There are generally four types of cases that we use in English and while considering the aspects of noun. Now let's look the rules of the noun. How should we use and how properly we can use them. Okay, let's come to the rules. Let's come to the first rule. Rule 1, we can say. There are some nouns which look plural. Generally, these nouns end with s or es, but they are actually singular in use. They should be used in singular mode. That means these nouns take only singular verb. They do not take any plural verb. So these nouns are different branches of knowledge or branches of learning. like mathematics, physics, economics, statistics, politics, etc. All these words end with S, but they are not plural at all. So we cannot tell politics are dirty. Suppose we would like to say politics are dirty. We must not say in this way, because the very word politics is singular. So here R should be replaced with is. Politics is dirty. So like these things, there are some other words, some games and sports. The name of some games and sports like billiards, gymnastics. These words are generally aquatics. There are other words, yes, aquatics. So all these words, like the previous examples, ends with S, but these should be treated as singular. There are some names of diseases like Measles, Mumps, Rickets. So these are some names of diseases, but these names indicate that it is the name of a disease. So these words should also be treated as singular noun. There are some other nouns like news, innings. Such words also bear S with them at the end. But likewise, these nouns should also be treated as singular noun. We cannot say news are interesting. We must say news is interesting. So we got the first rule. Hope you all get well acquainted. Now let's come to the second rule. So let's start rule 2. Some nouns always remain in plural form. That means these nouns bear S or es at the end of these nouns, and they always take plural verb. These nouns always take plural verb. Let us take some examples. Assets, arms, Emirates, Billiards, Billows, gallows, assets, and there are some other nouns who have two identical parts like keepers, scissors, pants, trousers, goggles, sunglasses, binoculars. So all these things, all these nouns remain always plural, so they should take plural verb only. So if I say your scissors is not sharp, it is wrong. It is incorrect use. We must say your scissors are not served. Order for his transfer has been issued. No, he cannot say order and has. Orders for his transfer have been issued. So these nouns, there are some other nouns also which I have given in the description box here. So do please follow them. So these nouns can only be used in plural form. That means s are there at the end of these words and they must take plural verbs. Okay. So now let's come to the next rule. Some nouns look singular, but they are always used in plural form. That means that these nouns do not have any s or es at the end of the word, at the end of the nouns, but actually they are treated as plural. So these nouns must take plural verbs. Let us take some examples. Cattle, clergy, artillery, cavalry, infantry, police, majority, vermin, and some other nouns. Cattle, গবাদি পশু, ক্লার্জি, পুরোহিতরা, আর্টিলারি হচ্ছে ক্যাননস মানে কামান জাতীয়গুলোকে আর্টিলারি বলে, ক্যাভালরি, ইনফ্যান্ট্রি, অশ্বারোহী দল, ক্যাভালরি, ইনফ্যান্ট্রি, পায়ে হেঁটে চলা দল, পুলিশ, মেজরিটি, ভার্মিন, কীটপতঙ্গ, এগুলো সবই প্লুরাল হিসেবে ট্রিট করা হয়। কাজেই আমরা যদি এরকম একটা বাক্য বলি, Cattle are grazing in the meadow. যদি বলি cattle are grazing in the meadow, অর্থাৎ চারণভূমিতে পশুগুলি তারা ঘুরে বেড়াচ্ছে, তাহলে কিন্তু ভুল বলবো, কারণ ক্যাটেল কথাটা ইটসেলফ প্লুরাল, কাজেই ক্যাটেলের সঙ্গে এস দেওয়া দরকার নেই, বা ক্যাটেল কথার পরে আমরা ইজও লিখতে পারি না, অর্থাৎ সবসময় লিখতে হবে ক্যাটেল, ক্লার্জি, আর্টিলারি, সমস্ত ক্ষেত্রে প্লুরাল ভার্ব আসবে। এটা গেল এই সমস্ত নিয়মগুলো এই শব্দগুলোর ক্ষেত্রে প্রযোজ্য। এটা হলো রুল 3। নেক্সট লেটস কাম টু রুল 4। এটাকে সম্পর্ক করি রুল 4। Now let's come to rule number 4. There are some nouns which have dual characteristics. It means that these nouns can be used as plural as well as singular. Let us take some examples. Committee, team, jury, house, and there are some other nouns also. These nouns, ministry, which generally these nouns refer to a group of persons combined together and makes a whole. These nouns, when treated as a whole, is taken or considered as singular. But when these nouns denote individuals, then they are treated as plural. Let's take an example. Suppose I write the committee submitted its report. The committee has submitted its report. That means all the members of the committee have unanimously submitted the report of the committee. So they all, the members of the committee all acted together and make a whole, a single identity, a single entity. But if I want to express that, suppose their submission is over, now they were allowed, the members of the committee were allowed to go home. Then the committee, I should write, were allowed to go home. In that particular sentence, the committee were allowed to go. In that particular sentence, it does not refer to that committee. It actually indicates the members of the committee. Each individual was allowed to go home. So they are acting there separately. That's why here committee should be used in plural form. While in this case, committee has been used in singular. So that's the dual characteristic of such nouns. Actually, it is connected with the previous rule, but this has a unique characteristic. Okay, so now let's move on to the next rule. Now, let's come to the next rule. There are some nouns. There are some nouns which are uncountable in nature. So, it does not take any a or an. It cannot be taken as a single piece or many pieces, as these nouns are always uncountable in nature. There are many such nouns. Let's take some examples. Like scenery, poetry, furniture, advice, information, luggage, baggage, business, luggage, baggage, postage, bread, paper, and many others. Actually, I am providing the details with the link provided here. You will get all those lists of such nouns. You cannot say an advice. You cannot say a bread, because bread, paper, postage, furniture, scenery, poetry, these are uncountable in nature. Let's take an example. The sceneries of Kashmir are enchanting. The sceneries of Kashmir are enchanting. I have made plural form of scenery, and that's why I have used corresponding are, but it's incorrect, because scenery itself, the very word scenery, cannot be pluralized or cannot be make a piece. So it is uncountable, and so singular verb would be used. The scenery of Kashmir is enchanting. The scenery of Kashmir is enchanting. So I cannot tell, give me a piece of bread. give me a piece of paper. So how can we make them countable? Instead of directly making them countable, we use some phrases like a piece of, a loaf of. Let's take an example. Suppose in case of paper, give me a piece of paper. Give me a piece of paper, we can say, because whenever we are using a piece of with paper, then we are making it singular, from uncountable to countable form with using phrase. We can say, give me a loaf of bread. A loaf of bread. Accordingly, and in the same way, we can pluralize them. We can say, he gave me much advice. He gave me much advice, or he gave me many pieces of advice. In such ways, these nouns and some other nouns which I have given the details, the list with the description list, with the description below, we get all of these. So all these nouns are generally used as uncountable form. So for this class, up to this rule has been duly discussed, we will follow the next rules in our next class. Bye bye.